I just want to bring around knowledge, and knowledge is power and strength and beauty and everything else in its bravery. Whereas
So in case you didn't know, November is Trans Awareness Month. I'm here with my longtime friend, Carter. Carter, say hello, introduce yourself.
How's it going, guys? Just to give you like a short version of transgender, it basically means that you identify with the opposite sex that you were born. So I was born a female and I transitioned into a male. I've been about 4 years now on my hormones. Now some people decide not to do hormone therapy. That's on them. What they decide, every transition is different.
Can that be considered a type of body dysmorphia?
So dysmorphia and dysphoria are a little different. Dysmorphia is like kind of like more of a physical thing. Dysphoria is basically where you can be dysphoric and not be transgender. So dysphoric means like when you look in the mirror, anything that you see, face of any, like your nose, your mouth, chest, more or less like most trans men are like dysphoric in their chest area where they have, you know, they were born with breasts, and so they kind of, you know, are feeling some sort of way, so we wear binders. Those are dysphoria kind of things. And not everyone that's transgender, by the way, also has dysphoria. Some do, some don't. It's really just what their transition path is, and everyone has their own. When we were in high school, I didn't really fit in with what we would consider lesbians. I didn't want to wear makeup. I didn't like my hair very long. I didn't like my chest. I wanted to hang out with the guys. I wanted to play with the guys, which most of my buddies were guys. I did have female friends, but I was more jealous of men. And when I went to college, I met a guy named Jesse, and I remember being on the porch with him, and we were just talking, we were just chumming it up, you know, having a beer, just talking. We went to college together, and he just asked me a few questions, and he was just, how do you feel? Like, you just seem like something's on, like you don't know what's going on. I explained it, and he was like, I think you're transgender. And it scared the crap out of me, to be honest. Like, the first thing I thought was like, oh my gosh, no, 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 no. So I spent a year just like trying to, you know, figure it out. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, which seemed to be a big thing of like with us is YouTube videos and just getting it out there as much as possible, because we're all kind of lost in the mix of the world kind of. So it really became a really good thing that I met him that day.
So finding people that maybe feel a similar way, that can maybe explain it better because they are further along in their emotional journey of feeling a certain way.
Exactly.
Their understanding helps you understand your own
it's like
situation.
a domino effect. It's kind of like a brother and like sister love of your own, of understanding of being like, you don't fit in your body, you want to fit in your body, and there's someone that knows your feelings and sees it from a higher perspective, and it's kind of just like a domino effect. And I've done it for other trans guys too. It feels really good.
If we didn't assign all these items and all these ideas just with the thought of a certain gender, before they're even in full existence. If not for that, I feel like there wouldn't even be such a big need to feel like, okay, I need to let everyone know that I'm not who they think I am or who they wanted me to be. Parts do not make a person a person. The soul, the aura, everything, the spirit is what makes someone who they are.
When you're looking at from a perspective of being like, well, why don't I look like that, or why can't I build muscle structure like that, and you have those feelings of like, why, and you just feel like you don't fit in anywhere in the spectrum of a female, or you know, male's case to female, you know, they don't feel like they fit in that male gender role of any sort, body or mind or anything. So it's kind of one of those things, like, it eats at you for a while, and then I think you come to terms with just like, I can either choose to like kill myself over this and be to the point where I don't want to deal with this anymore, or you can just be like, you know what, this is me, let's go for it, let's do what we want to do here and be happy. The hardest thing about being transgender or non-binary or any type of, you know, gender fluid, gender queer of any sort, when you meet people that are out of the cisgendered role and they're just mostly, you know, used to having straight friends, or, you know, out of the LGBT community, the best thing to do is honestly just ask them about their pronouns. If you're not sure and you just want to be like, look, I respect you enough, I just want to know where we stand, and I don't want to tell you the wrong thing and you feel uncomfortable. I don't mean anything by it. It's basically just showing that you're not being harmful towards them when you're asking them. But that's usually what we tell people to do, is go by pronouns. Don't ask them about their genitals. Nobody wants to tell you that. And that, to be honest with you, is not your business to ask.
What would you rather me refer to you as? Shows respect because it shows that you do not mean any harm. You do not want to offend them. You do not want to upset them. You want to let them know that you see them eye to eye. You see them for who they are.
Right.
I saw an image and it said, it was a simple way. It was like dumbing down all of the different genders and identities. And it was like, well, some people like Coke, some people like Pepsi. I like drinking Coke out of a Pepsi bottle. Like, I like my Coke with a little bit of Pepsi in it, you know? Like, I like something like that. And like, why does it make everyone so uncomfortable when literally I just like my Coca-Cola in a Pepsi glass?
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty much, that's how it is. There's a magician that did a YouTube video where he had a peanut butter and a jam, and he was like peanut butter jam, and then the jam was underneath the peanut butter like thing, and then peanut butter was underneath the jam, and he's like basically saying like, who cares? Everyone is different. Nobody's normal. There's no such thing as normal, and if you are, then you're just
good for you. I don't know what that means,
but I don't want to be normal, and I sure as heck don't want anybody around me to be normal, because that's the beauty of the world. We have this strong idea of what normal is. You like to do certain things that are very hands-on and very like, you know, you work out, you do things like that, but there's times where you put makeup on and you put jewelry on and you do all these things.
Yeah.
So what's any different from you just doing that from someone just being like, one day I just want to dress like a boy and I want to be considered this, and what's different in that case where I want to dress and, you know, a dress and that stuff, and they just want to do what they want to do. It's not affecting you. It's not here to insult you. It's just what makes them feel good inside. And at the end of the day, we really should just base that off of who we are as people. Everything just should be about love and understanding, and you don't have to understand everything and everyone, but respect each other is all we're really asking for. You can't teach people what they don't know if you're going to be hidden. And that's basically what we're trying to get out, is that we want people to not fear us. We just want to be here and exist just like you guys do. That's all.
A lack of understanding is okay. That's fully understandable. That's fully acceptable. But how you address the situation, like make sure that everyone involved knows there's no ill intention. Fear comes from not knowing what comes next. The fear is based off of, okay, well, I'm not sure if this is going to be offensive. I'm not sure what your intentions are. I don't know if you think. So just being open-minded and not assuming things.
You always fear what you don't know and what you don't understand. And it's what you react to it that makes a difference. If you're willing to go out and understand it and be like, you know what, this might not be for me, but I'm okay with it. All they want is just to be accepted, and as long as you're not coming at them in a harmful way.
It's their body, it's their choice, and it's their comfort. Ultimately, everything is to be comfortable in your own skin and to feel acceptance. I know that I've met some of the most genuine people I will probably ever meet in my entire life in the LGBTQ community.
Yeah. It's nice to feel like you're accepted too. Like we have our 1 year thing that we have, like a conference. It's basically like Disneyland for transgender people. It's in Philly, and it was the best experience ever, and I took my girlfriend this year, and it was fantastic. I think she had as much fun as I did, I swear. And it was just a good experience, and it's good to see and like bring people that have never been in that kind of community, because that was her first year that she actually got to, you know, see how we all respond with each other, and she was like, you all look so comfortable, we don't feel as like we have to be defensive,
being judged, or
we're not asking for you to completely agree. No one's going to agree with everything that you do in life, but just be like, I respect you enough that, you know, you have the same rights as I do, and you're not doing any harm to me, so I don't want to do any harm to you. That's
everyone's
really what
entitled
it should
to
be.
their own opinion.
Exactly.
We're all humans, but as all being humans, we have to have some kind of unity, some kind of respect for each other as like-minded beings.
Absolutely. I actually came out to some of my friends like one at a time, and it actually went a lot better than I thought it was. But then again, you know, I came out as a lesbian back in 7th grade, so everyone was kind of like, we already knew. And it kind of happened again, which was surprising, because I was like,
we already know.
Yeah, they were like, we already know. Like, I had some of my friends be like, you were like a brother already, so it made no difference to me. And I was like, wow. No one could have told me. That would have been great. Like,
by the way,
could have started a long time ago here, but you know, it didn't happen that way, and that's okay. And everyone has their own journey. So, as for my dad, I actually had started hormones like 2 years prior to telling him, and when I did tell him, it didn't go very well at first. We didn't really talk much. Now he's come around quite a bit, even with my friends and stuff. We have some certain things that we've come to an agreement, because It is a little harder for him. As for my dad's side, actually, I got to see them a few months ago for my grandmother's surprise birthday party. And they were great. I had like my great uncle who kind of freaked out, but everybody else was super loving. Like my cousins were great about it. It was a good experience. I think I needed that too. I think it's hard for a lot of transgender people because that is one of your biggest fears, is knowing that your whole world is about to shift. And you don't really think about it, then it's going to really hit you in the face. But if you at least prepare yourself, I found that I actually was more not disappointed as much, I guess, because I was expecting a worse result than actually what happened.
Right.
And I had a lot more people behind my back than I thought I would ever have. So I have a lot of friends to thank for that. And I feel like my friends are my family more than I could ever want. So I got really
Friends are the family you choose. Friends are the family you choose. As transgender becomes more out there and more people are learning about it, there's posts I've seen of people like, you at least owe it to me to tell me what you're working with. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe anyone anything. Let whomever that you are talking to and interacting with feel comfortable enough around you. You wouldn't pry if someone was having a sensitive situation in their home life, so don't pry because of your curiosity. If anything, ask for understanding.
It's kind of like a two-sided door there, where it comes to the point where it's like, we have to be willing to come out and you have to be willing to come in. And it really is one of those things where it's not understanding is okay, but wanting to ask questions and be understanding in a good way is a good thing for both ends there, because it lets us know, okay, we can be comfortable enough to explain this to you. This is a part of who I am. It's not everything about me, but it is definitely a part of me, and I'm not ashamed of it. And there are people that aren't as open as I am, so don't assume that either. But it's one of those things that needs to be spoken about, because I'm not afraid of the 24 years I had prior to transitioning. I had a blast because I am religious and I believe in God, and I believe that, He made me the way I am. I'm not mad at him. I think he did exactly what he intended to, and I'm glad with the path that I have, and I don't think I would be the man that I am now if it wasn't for that. I would say do research. I know it's more available now to like the millennials and everything that it was for us, and it's more open now, which I think would have been great back then for me. I think YouTube has been a great platform. Eventually, I do have something in the works that I would like to bring out to the community and kind of just bring everyone together, because there are so many trans guys and trans women and non-binary and genderqueer that are out there that don't even know that that's a thing. Trans is you transitioned into what you should have been. Not what you think you are, what you should have been. And it's not saying that, God made any mistake. I don't like to bring religion into it, but I am religious, and I don't think God made a mistake. I honestly just think that God gave me this path to live, to show people that we are beautiful, we're just here to survive, and I have a different outlook on life, to be honest with you. And there is someone out here that cares about you individually, and everyone is special, and we all love you.
If you're feeling lost, surround yourself with those who can help you find yourself.
And we are out there. Trust us, there's enough of us out there in the world that love you and care about you. And even though you don't know it and you've never met us, we are here for you, and we will be here forever. If you ever have any questions and you don't know where you stand and you are just fearful to ask anyone, I'm here for any questions you have about cisgendered, transgendered, gender equality, gender queer, anything that you have a question about, I'm okay with answering. So feel free to reach out to me and ask them, as long as you don't mean it in a harmful manner.
How can we...
Wine check.
Wine check. Cheers.